£300,000 at stake in this 1985 Embassy Championship, and 95,000 of it decided on one frame that you're about to see.
Can't believe I'm here. It really is going to a final deciding frame. Probably the greatest frame in Crucible history. And I've got a fucking ringside seat. Good old Dennis. The underdog fighting back for bloody once. And that ginger twat looks like he's going to throw up. No less than he deserves. The smart-ass Tory get. Everyone goes on about that Tory bash. Kenny Everett's stupid big hands on his "Let's bomb Russia!" and "Kick Michael Foot's stick away!" But at least he was funny. Too spaced out to have any idea where he was or why. But sanctimonious Steve Davis with his potting the Reds jibe and his nicely brushed hair. Me at all costs. What I've got is down to me and mine to keep. It goes right to the heart of it. That Tory attitude. It's war and there are casualties. Chucking 1.5 million extra on the scrap heap is necessary. That woman, his mistress, has the brass neck to claim she's committed to a civilised society where the poor and the sick, the disabled and the elderly are properly cared for. Rank hypocrisy. Smarmy Steve has it coming. The contractions come quicker now, and I'm scared. My mum's here, but I want Andy too. And I know he'd want to be here. The snooker happens every year, but you only see your first child born once in a lifetime. Dad's gone off to get him. It's ironic that I wouldn't be watching this drama unfold had it not been for that bloody woman. Joining the great army of the unemployed when they shut Hadfields meant I had nothing to do but hang around snooker halls. By hanging around snooker halls, I got good enough to win the FitzAlan Cup and this ticket. Still, little compensation for how she screwed my life. First she took my free school milk, then my job, then my hopes, then my dad. Watching what she did to his pit finished him. And my kid's future's fucked. She's laid waste to this city. What kind of world is left? Poor little bastard. What hope can Dolights have of a house? All the council houses are sold off. Louise is stuck at home with her folks. Me with my mum. Me and Andy, it was love at first sight. Romeo and Juliet. I think half the city's relationships were started there. His gelled hair, white shirt with sleeves like a cavalier, skinny black trousers and pointy shoes, dancing with his mates and taking the piss out of "Don't You Want Me Baby." He bought me a lager and black, walked me home, and 3 months later we were engaged. Yesterday, when the ginger tosser won the first frame of the evening session to go 8-0 up, I gave up any hope of my ticket being worth anything. It looked like Davis would have it more or less in the bag by the end of that night. But then came the wobble, and Taylor somehow turned it round to finish only 2 behind by the end of day 1. Midwife's been great. She says it won't be long now. I'm dilating nicely. I'm trying to hold on for Andy though. He's probably rushing over now. He'd probably be able to leg it up from the Crucible up Division Street in less than 10 minutes. It was all a bit unplanned, the babby and the wedding. I never meant to get engaged. I just bought her a ring one Saturday, feeling guilty about copping off with her best mate the night before. It were only a present, but she took it as me proposing. It were a bit tricky to put her straight, so I never did. It were Lou's mate I'd originally tried to hit on when we first met in R&J's. It's funny how things end up. I think of Andy's dad when I use the gas and air. Derek won't get to see his grandchild. Spent his last few months in his armchair, overlooking his neglected garden, breathing in oxygen through one of these. I'm glad they're closing down those horrible places, so no one has to do what he did, down in the dark, breathing in black dust. Oh, where is he, Mum? It hurts. If you watched that final on the telly, you might have heard a kerfuffle during the break before that final frame. That was Lou's dad, blagging his way into the Crucible. I tried to ignore him, But he insisted. Get your sorry arse out of that seat and over to Jessop's, or I'll break every fucking bone in your body, son. He meant it too. A mean bastard with a reputation, eh, Dad? He came through the door just in time to see our baby boy arrive into the world. He didn't look right happy, Andy. A bit awkward. But the reality of it doesn't really kick in until your baby arrives, does it? Especially for the father, because they don't have that deep connection already. Probably the greatest frame in snooker history, down to the final black. People go on about it, but I've never been able to watch it back. Her dad told me he'd set the video recorder, so you can watch it later. Twat. That frame is one of those where were you when moments. I should have been able to say, right fucking there mate, taking in every fucking gasp, every shot the ginger twat bottled. But no. I had to watch my girlfriend sweating, straining and screaming. Blood, shit and gore instead. And had to act like I was pleased about it. Like it was the best fucking thing in my life. I had the first cuddle, stroking his beautiful hair, red like mine. Then my mum passed him to Andy. Aren't they hard to fathom, lads? He held him briefly, but passed him right back. A queer look flashed across his face. All I did was say I'd like to call him Steve.